Hi my loves, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josephine for those who are new. As we all transitioned from childhood to adulthood, one thing that we lost was the act of play. Most of us do not know that play, which is what we did when we were growing up, is actually the same thing as creativity. As a child, I remember creating a lot of things with items I could find in my immediate environment. I remember we used to build really huge sand castles, a whole plumbing system using straws and containers. We built all those lorries and tractors, those big sort of cars using tin containers, and we had a lot of opportunity to play. Even at school we had break time where basically all you did was play and run around. It is often a learning experience for all of us because when you play, you're basically challenging your mind to think in different directions, and that's why you can see kids, they're always coming up with different things to do with the same toys. It's just crazy. But as we transition into adulthood, we sort of lose that part of us due to structures that we have to now have in place, like going to work every single day from a particular time to a particular time, or having added responsibilities, and you feel like, okay, now I need to like make money and all of that, and so we become disconnected with our inner side, our creativity side, which is why a lot of us get to that point where it feels like we're waiting for our lives to start. When you feel like, when I get that job, I'm eventually going to be happy, or when I get that salary, I'm eventually going to be happy. And you get the salary and you see, oh, there's no much difference. It's like you're there, and now it feels like, okay, this is not going to fill my cup anymore. I might as well look for something else to fill my cup. When I say play, I don't mean like going outside and running around and playing with sand. No, play can mean a lot of things. And for an adult, play should be about you flexing your creativity muscle. Basically, you learning new things, so practicing something new or trying to do something in a way you've never done it before. The thing is, we are all creators. We were created by a creator. And naturally, creation is something that is really embedded at the core of who we are. And as long as you're not practicing that or flexing that muscle, you're definitely going to feel incomplete. For me, my way of creating is YouTube. I really enjoy it when I film a video and I edit it and I click on the publish button. I just feel like I have birthed or created something. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. That is my play. That might not be your play, that might not necessarily give you that joy, but every one of us just has to create. You have to put your hands on something, you have to be doing something, and it's completely different from your job. Why your job might be a form of creation at the beginning is because it's new, you're getting used to it, but after a couple of times it becomes a routine. You're just basically doing the same thing over and over again, and you eventually get bored. In order to get that wholeness, you have to have something that you engage in or you do as your play, which is something you do solely for yourself, something that is not to please someone or to help someone or to do what needs to be done like your job, more like something you do because you enjoy doing it. As I've gotten older, I've come to realize that we're always going to be working, except or until we reach the point where we become like a billionaire. And even when you become a billionaire, you're going to be even more busy than the average person. So work is something that is always going to be in our life. But what is going to ensure that as we work, we are happy and we feel rounded and whole and more energized is the fact that you have your form of play. That is why you see people like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, they're really busy. They work for longer hours than you think you're working as an employee, and yet they're able to get up every day and do what they do. And that's because they are creating. They're trying to create something new. They're pushing themselves to do something new. I remember when I used to do YouTube on and off, and I used to work at the bank. I was happy with my job at the bank, but I always felt like something was missing. There's just that thing you cannot lay your finger on, like something was missing. But anytime I create a video and I uploaded it, I felt really good for the whole 1 week. It's just like, oh my god, I created something, I did that. So what I'm trying to say is, for you to feel whole and complete, it's not about you not doing that job or about you not working. It's for you to be able to find a balance between your work and your play. I was recently reading this book by Brian Brown. I'll just put it here, I can't remember. And if you want want to read more about play and why it is really important in your life, is something you should check out. So today I'm going to recommend some new ways we can play, new ways we can be creators. When I went out to do a bit of research about what I wanted to talk to you guys about in this video, I kept seeing the usual stuff: create a routine, journal, and all of that. I was just like, those are boring. I feel like we've all tried to journal for as long as I can remember, and it works for me sometimes. Like, there's some weeks I'm like consistently journaling, but that is really not me all the time. And sometimes I don't want to journal. Sometimes I want to do something new, something quick, something short. And so today I'm going to be recommending some great play ideas you can do as an adult. It's going to help you feel more complete and whole in your life, and just basically flex your creativity muscle. The first idea I have on my list is a Bio Blitz. Bio Blitz is more like a group project whereby you come up with a group of people and you go outside, explore your environment, and take pictures of insects, animals, and just living organisms you can find around, in order to record as many species of plants, animals, and insects in a particular environment or location. This is really interesting. It's something that I'm also considering doing. It's a light way of volunteering. So you take those pictures and you upload them to a site like iNaturalist, and those websites or that data is used by scientists to carry out better research and to be able to help the environment. I have also used data sets and I continue to use them from iNaturalist, and I just, that day is going to come when I'm able to also take pictures and contribute to the site as well. If you're looking for something to do, like with your group of friends, something to host over the weekend, you can think of creating or doing a Bio Blitz. I'm sure it's going to be really interesting and fun, especially for those who love nature and love the environment. The second play activity I'll recommend is a local cleanup. I remember when we were growing up, we used to have Saturday sanitations. I don't know why and how that disappeared. I think it's because society now is trying to be a lot more individualistic. But I remember when we were growing up, every Saturday morning, people basically came out of their houses and we all did sanitations one way or the other. People will clean the front of their house. There would be huge sanitation properly going on Saturday morning, and it used to be led by the youths. But nowadays we don't see anything like that. But it's something you can do with your group of friends. You can come up with a group in your immediate community, your local place where you live, and you guys can just go out every Saturday morning for a couple of hours and try to see how you can clean up maybe a particular area or a particular place that is more general, that is lacking a bit of care. And you'd be surprised how that would make you feel in general. You would feel really accomplished and whole, and it would be enough dopamine boost for another 2 weeks. The third play activity I will be recommending is upcycling. This is really interesting, especially for people who upcycle things that are sort of non-biodegradable. I come across them on Instagram a lot, and I'm just like, wow, these are ways we can help our planet. By the way, there is a lot of waste that is being generated on a daily basis, and not all of them are biodegradable, and they are affecting the environment and affecting the climate. And a way you can contribute, or a way you can make a difference, is to upcycle those materials. I remember coming across a lady on Instagram, and she upcycles old jeans into bags. It was just so beautiful to see. Jeans are not degradable, or I think they just take longer, and it's so nice that someone is able to upcycle them and turn them into another thing, and that continues the process and reduces the amount of waste we have in the environment. I've also come across a lady who upcycles hair water leather and turns them into bags, shoes. There's nothing she has not turned them into, basically, and it's just wow. And I'm sure she feels really accomplished and really full in herself. So one thing you might want to think of is, look at your natural environment. What can you identify that is a waste that you can turn into something? And who knows, you could possibly create something that could sell and make you extra money, or just create something for fun that is able to help every other person in your immediate community or in the whole world. Another play activity I'd like to recommend for those who want to play and also make sure it's a way of improving their lives. You can come up with a brag boost group. We all have goals. We have have direction we want to take, but sometimes it's just a lot going on. I wouldn't say we're lazy, it's more like we just have a lot going on, and we have one body, and there's a limit to how far we can push our body, right? So you can create a group of accountability partners whereby you guys share your goals. Obviously, you want to do it with people that are safe, in a group of people you can trust. Come up with a group with safe people you can share things with, and you guys share your goals and what you want to achieve, and everyone is basically obliged to, once they achieve or once they do something that takes them a step closer to their goal, they take a picture evidence and they send it to the group chat, and others can see, oh, Renee is working towards accomplishing her goals, what excuse do I have? And you do yours and you post it. So it's more like a healthy competition, but that way everyone is able to move towards accomplishing their goals and feel like they are a part of something. The last one I would like to recommend is painting, which is very common nowadays. I feel like we've entered that era where even adults are sort of going back to painting and looking for what they can do and getting coloring books. If you are at the beginning where you're like, okay, I just want to start to gradually introduce play back into my life, that would be a good place to start. Basically get a coloring book and start to color and start to play with colors around again as you did when you were a child, and you'd be surprised how you would feel. Like, I remember the first coloring book I bought was when I was in uni, and at that time I had so much going on in my head, but when I would sit down and just color out those pages, I used to feel like I was able to organize my thoughts in that moment. Like, things just get organized and everything becomes clear, and I'm proud and happy at the end of the day. So those are the play activities that I would recommend to you as an adult who is trying to invite play into their lives, who is trying to go back to flexing their creativity muscles, who is trying to go back to being a creator. Obviously there are a lot more things to do out there, but you need to start from somewhere so that your creative juices start to flow and you start to get better ideas and come up with better things to do. That is all I have for today. I'm glad if you've watched this video to this point and you enjoyed it. Make sure you click on the like button, and if you're yet to join the family, I would like to say it's time you subscribe to this channel. I look forward to bringing better content, and I hope you stick around, and I'll catch up with you in my next video. Bye.